Hey folks, what's up? You're listening to Real Laughs. I'm Mike Hurley, and I'm joined in studio with Mr. James John and Zach Bennett. James, how you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm feeling pretty damn good on this Thursday, almost to the weekend. So, that means I'll be cooking more.
What are they gonna do when you go back to work and they got fend for themselves, man?
We were actually talking about that on Monday. That I told my kids, Zach, that Dad will be back to work. Mom works long hours. You guys are 16 and 17. You'll have to make dinner yourself. They almost called DCF on me, Zach. Like, how dare you? How dare you? They were like, that's an oven. It's magic. I'm not a wizard. How do you expect me to cook? So, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, man.
And how are you doing, Zach? Just printing a ton of T-shirts. Business good right now?
Yeah, man, it's going good. Going into October, it's going to be should be going good. And we're also doing canvas prints. I don't know if you saw the thing I put out where I did the
horror one, right?
Yeah, and also I did a line of positive memes or the things where it's like an ocean with a sunset, but it says everything's awful, stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like the negative stuff. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, because for those of us with a comedic sense of humor, that stuff makes us laugh, which makes us feel better than some pandering nonsense,
What was that line of posters? Was it demotivational posters that they came out with after a while? Yeah.
It's like that, but it's stuff that people that know me have heard me just say. So I just kind of put or stuff that I like that I've heard other people say, and I just put it on there. Like the U.S. has the U.S. has $26 trillion in debt, and I put that over a rose, stuff like that.
Nice. Nice.
Well, be sure to check out Zach Bennett's page. I know they're going to be doing a big launch for all his merch coming up, but you can get in early, shoot him a message, and maybe he'll give you a price break before you start paying those big advertising dollars and whatnot. Or maybe not. Who knows? Guys, I know you're excited to know what's going on this week or tonight or today in birthdays. Julie Andrews, of course, Mary Poppins, 84, Jimmy Carter, 95. Two people that would have made the Dead or Alive game a lot harder because I thought both of them had passed already.
Julie Andrews? No, she's alive, baby.
Yeah, she's alive. So is Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter's doing well. And one of my actual... I can't even say he's my favorite comedian, but I like mostly everything he does. Zach Galifianakis. Happy birthday. Yeah. How old do you guys think Zach is?
56.
Really?
Yeah,
really? Dude.
Really?
Ice cold. James is ice cold.
Yeah, you got this one, Zach? What do you think?
I'll say he's probably 42.
He's 50. He's 50, and I was surprised at that. Like, I honestly just thought he was more like my age. I didn't know he was. Yeah, whatever.
You guys crack.
Yeah. You know what it is? He's always got the full beard going on.
Yeah.
Covers up a lot of the imperfections. He looks younger, but whatever.
Yeah. If you've never seen Live at the Purple Onion, is his kind of breakout stand up for anybody who hasn't seen it. Definitely watch that. It's insane. It's beautiful.
Yeah, gotcha. Or what was the other one that him and Tig did and Posehn? Was it the Comedians of Comedy?
Comedians of Comedy. Yeah,
nicely done.
That was a good little one. Well, guys, I want to actually talk to you about this. And James, I think you and I have discussed in the past, or you've asked me before, how well do you know your neighbors? How well do you know your neighbors? And the reason I bring it up is I lived at my last place for 10 years. 2 years ago, I moved into this place, and I have a neighbor that lives behind me. And I can't even really hate this guy too much. But what he likes to do on the weekends is go out to his patio, which unfortunately butts up right against, the back of my fence. He likes to have some beers. And he's an older guy, I think late 60s, early 70s. He likes to put on the radio to the station he likes. And he likes to get on his phone and leave aggressive voicemails for his ex-wife and son because they don't pick up the phone anymore. So he'll just pop open a couple of beers and he'll just sit on the porch. And because he's a little bit older, I imagine his hearing's a little off. So he's got the radio. It's not like the bass is pumping, but if I'm sitting in my house trying to watch a movie, I can hear the songs coming through, And I'll go out there every now and then when it just gets bad and just shout over the fence like, hey, turn it down. And most of the time he'll turn it down. Sometimes he's drunk already. And he's like, F you, that type of thing. So the other night I hit a whole new level with him where he was going through some stuff and he was just playing that song over and over. That song Shallow by Lady Gaga.
I'm like, in the deep end.
But this guy had this song on repeat, I kid you not, from 10 p.m. till 3 a.m.
Wow.
He was having a rough one.
No, that was a call for help. Okay.
Well, I thought so too, but I could hear him on the phone leaving voicemails for his wife, who apparently had caught him cheating years ago. And aggressive drunk voicemails always start off with apologies and then flipping the blame. Look, I know I made a mistake, but we had some bad years, but I think the good far outweighed the bad. Damn it, pick up the phone! Pick up the phone! Is he there?
It's not my fault, Karen. It's not my fault. She had a WAP. What am I going to do?
So it starts with Baby I Changed, and then it ends with the same thing. Yeah.
I hit a whole new level of petty because my sleep schedule has been off anyway. So I got out to mow the lawn at 7 o'clock the next day. And
I saw this.
Yeah, I mowed the lawn in like 35 minutes. But then I just took my mower and I had a lanyard strap or cord, and I just wrapped it around the handle of the lawnmower and went and parked my mower by the back fence, figuring if he was up until 3 a.m., he's probably just 7 a.m. hitting that, I can sleep my day away. Nah, pal. So I just left the mower out there until it ran through the full tank of gas.
That is a whole new level of petty, sir. I applaud you.
And the only thing I'm disappointed with is I didn't think to put the leaf blower out there next to it as well. Like I got the cord, I got 100 feet. I'm good. I could have thrown it out there. So next time I'm going to up those decibels. So I just wanted to ask you guys, like James, you've lived at the same place since I've known you. So how long?
Over 10 years.
Yeah. So how well do you know your neighbors?
Here's the thing. When we were kids growing up, I could tell you the phone number and the name of every neighbor I had. That's just the way it was.
Right.
The older I got, the less and less I got involved with who I lived by. Mm-hmm. I've lived here for over 10 years. I've given names to my neighbors, not real names, but just descriptive names. Like I call one dude KGB because he has a thick Russian accent and he's old. So I just say KGB. That's what I call him.
See, it sounds cute when you say that, but if we use the nickname he made up for you, we'd be kicked out there. He's like, I call him that because he is.
I call him Chocolate Man. He is Chocolate Man, yes?
Yeah, yes.
I call him Black Russian.
Black Russian. But he's lactose intolerant. I don't know why. Yeah.
So have you had the same neighbors or does it turn over a bit?
It's turned over, but very little. But most of the time, and mostly it's the same people living here. I couldn't tell you one person's name, brother. I know that's horrible to say. There's a cop on my block. There's an Asian dude on the block. There's a KGB dude right here. Single mom, one kid over there. I just don't know their names.
Yeah. What was the address on that single mom, one kid?
It's 4361 Trouble is what
you've seen the baby's daddy on every other weekend. Could I take him?
Probably not.
Probably not. How about you, Zach? What's it like in the projects?
Daytona.
I'll be okay. I got two for you. Okay. Honestly, we just had a neighbor move out and I think she probably listens to the show. It's fine, but she's one of those people that doesn't know how loud she is, so she just talks loud all the time, and does not understand boundaries to the point where we had like a COVID scare because of her. Like we had to go get checked out because she was like, I got COVID, and she walked up to us to tell us. Anyway.
Oh man, what?
Yeah.
It's great when COVID people now have to treat themselves like child offenders around the neighborhood. Like,
Right.
I just came to introduce myself. You've already shook their hand, and you realize both with child offenders and COVID people. You're like, wow, you should have told me this before we touched.
Hey, Zach, thanks for letting me use your bathroom, man. By the way, I got COVID. See you later.
So that's next door. Upstairs is a kind of hippie couple that are, I think, learning to play instruments. I don't know, but it's loud and fun, in quotes. And then there's a screaming prostitute that lives across the way.
Whoa!
So
is she screaming out "WAP for sale"?
She just that would make a good advertisement. She just doesn't. She's also a volume issue person. She just talks loud. That's anybody who's ever lived in the hood. You know how it is.
The screaming prostitute was my favorite move in college.
It's nothing really physical. There's nothing physical to it. You just don't pay her at the end.
We've moved on up here though in Daytona. We're beachside hood now, so
nice.
That's what you get. Yeah, if you stay in Daytona long enough, you work your way up.
Yeah. If you look out the back window, you'll see all the homeless people sleeping on the beach.
It's funny what you say about how it was when we were kids too, James, because I did. You knew your neighbors, you knew everybody in your neighborhood, and you kind of watched each other's back. And it's funny how, when I was a kid, if you had a package getting delivered to your house and you weren't going to be at home, you could count on your neighbor to grab that package for you. Whereas now, if you have a package coming to your house and it's not there when you get home, you're pretty sure the neighbor took your package.
Yeah.
I don't trust anyone in this neighborhood, man.
Yeah. They call them Amazon pirates now, right? Don't they call them that?
Pirates.
Got porch pirates. There you go.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm like, whoa.
I know we didn't get into it much, but big news this week. Some of Trump's tax records came out. So we're finding out a lot of stuff that he didn't want to get found out. Not to get political, just on the funny side of this. I don't know. Did you guys see the report? Did you guys see some of the...
I've heard about it. People called me and told me about it.
Okay. I love quizzing you guys. He actually wrote off his hair styling as a business expense. How much do you think he wrote off for a year's worth of styling that thing he calls hair?
A year.
Mm-hmm. A whole year.
Okay, I'm going to go crazy.
Once a month, twice. Sometimes this year I didn't get cut for like 5 months, but
I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna say $10,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's $170,000 if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Closer. Cut off the $170,000.
Yeah.
$70,000. He wrote that off as a business expense. His hair for $70,000.
Who's his barber? Jesus? Who's cutting this dude's hair?
If you're paying $70,000 for that hair, you gotta imagine the spray tan is at least 45, right?
Has to be, man.
So just on his hair and his spray tan, he's making more than I've ever made in my best year. Right there. That's ridiculous. And that's a write-off. That's an expense.
$70,000.
I can't believe it.
It doesn't make any sense, man. What kind of clippers are they using? like.
Well, my favorite part is knowing that it will change nothing. That's really funny for me. I sit and laugh about that.
Well, the thing you gotta understand is his hair is kind of his brand. So you wouldn't ask Mike. If Michael Jackson paid $70,000 for a diamond glove, you wouldn't. Forget that. I could get his IV bag for $32,000.
His cousin Yolanda Jackson is selling it.
Hey guys, we got to take a break real quick. When we get back, I'm going to be asking you guys, what would you take with you to the grave? All that right here on Real Laughs 104.1. Welcome back. You're still listening to Real Laughs. I'm Mike Hurley in studio with Zach Bennett and Mr. James John. Now, guys, before we went on break, I asked you to start thinking about what you would take with you to the grave. Now, the reason I bring that up is if you look throughout history, the pharaohs, the Vikings, it was very common for when they buried people that they buried them with their prized possessions. Well, there's actually a group of reenactors in the UK. You know how we got reenactors here in the US? They get dressed up like in the Civil War, Confederate outfits and stuff like that and go redo battles. There's a group in the UK, I'm going to get this wrong, called Regia Anglorum. And what they do is they like to do reenactments, but they do it more of the medieval Vikings, Saxons, and Normans. Well, they started this trend this week where they basically had members of their group lay out on the ground surrounded by the objects they would like to be buried with. And just to give you kind of an idea, I got some pictures right here for you. Now, this first picture, a girl just kind of laying out. What we got there in the picture? What are you seeing over there, James?
Well, what I see is Birkenstocks, so I now know she's a lesbian. I see, I see a laptop, a Switch, Nintendo Switch, a Dr. Seuss book. Mm-hmm. Is that a knife? Headphones, a whale, a cutting board, another pair of sneakers that zip up, which confirms my suspicion she's a lesbian, and a pink cylinder type thing.
Now, amazingly, these are all things that she thinks she'll be able to take with her into the afterlife, but I don't know if she's going to have batteries for the iPod in the afterlife.
Yeah, I like the whale heating bag. That's nice, because it gets cold in there.
This next guy seems to go more with the Viking burial trend because he wants to be buried with, what would you say that is? I'm not a gun guy, but
that's the AR-15.
He has an AR-15, a hairbrush, a couple of books of Vietnam, and is that like when you do Zach, when you do like those board games like Dungeons and Dragons, and you got those little miniature figures? Does he have like one of those miniature figure kits with him? Like,
yeah, it's hard to tell because I'm using my phone, so I can't really see it. But
it looks like
judging by his look, absolutely.
Okay, he has an AR-15, an Apocalypse Now T-shirt, camouflage pajama pants, and house slippers.
And a D&D model painting kit, because apparently that's how it's going down the afterlife. If I can't shoot something in the afterlife, I'm gonna be working on my little models. I actually liked this guy, or let me find her right here. Yeah, I guess this girl, she's got a guitar, but the thing I noticed first is she has her cat in the photo. Now that just seems kind of cruel. But that reminds me more of the ancient pharaohs who would actually, hey, the pharaoh died, and the servants are like, oh, I really enjoyed working with them. Well, good news. You're going to spend eternity because now we got to kill you, embalm you, and put you. What? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need servants in the afterlife. Are we sure this is necessary? Look, it's the pharaoh. This is what we're doing, people. And then...
I see she has a tripod. Oh, and I see that she has a Xbox One game controller, which means she's into lost causes. So, yeah, I like her. She's an optimist.
Yeah. Hopefully there's internet in the afterlife. Otherwise, you're just playing, no multiplayer games. This one happens to be my favorite because I don't know how they got this dog.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's a picture of a dog who just wants to be apparently buried with all its favorite chew toys, which is just kind of creepy on some level.
That is creepy. Wow.
So, not to put you guys on the spot, but if I had to ask you right now, Zach, you're being entombed. You're getting buried. People have revered you, and now they want to send you off properly. What are they throwing in the casket with you?
Man, how about a mic, a machete, and a black powder pistol, just for fun.
Nope. If Zach Bennett is being buried in Daytona, they're going to bury him in a black hat, a black T-shirt, and it is Daytona, so a homeless man's going to pee in the casket.
Sprinkle some meth on.
Hey, some meth, and that is a funeral Sunday. That's how you end it.
That's so you can pay the ferryman in the afterlife. You give him meth, so you can
gotcha.
move on to the next thing.
How about you, James? What you think you're taking with you? Let's say for a second that there is an afterlife, and when you get there, you're allowed to use whatever you've brought with you. What's going in the casket with you?
If James John is dying and there's a funeral and I can take stuff with me, I want to be buried with my thong outfit on. I want to go into the next life ready to party. Nothing says a good time like an overweight black man in a thong and a halter top. I'm going to get to the pearly gates. Gabriel's going to be like, this guy gets it.
He had a good time. What about you, Mike?
How about me?
Yeah, how about you, brother?
I think I'd probably bring the guitar. Because I figure if I got eternity, maybe now I'll get a chance to learn how to play it. I'm one of those guys. I've had a guitar around me since my dad was a good guitar player and singer. So I always had his guitar. And then I got my own guitar for the first time when I was like 16. And I've had one all this time. I turned 44 on Sunday. And I still know the same 5 songs that I learned in high school. And that's it. That's all I know how to play. So I think I should have been better at guitar by accident by now,
Yeah.
So if I got the rest of eternity, I figure I'll bring the guitar. I don't know if I'd bother bringing a picture of the kids, because I mean, isn't the whole thing like we're able to look down and watch after them if that's where?
Yeah.
So like kind of like what Ken Miller says. What do I need a picture of my kids for? I see them all the time, anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, and I'm not much of a reader anymore. So I saw a lot of those people were getting buried with their favorite books and stuff like that.
Because you used to read a lot, Mike, back in the day.
Yeah, like look behind me, all these books. Yeah, these are actually real. It's not like one of those weird, like I can grab a book. It's not like
look
one
at
of those
that
big office backdrop things. Like, and I don't know. I just figure once you're dead, it's got to be harder to like read a book and go, oh man. I wish I knew that when I was alive. That would have been handy. Like,
you're reading do-it-yourself books.
What's that? So playing dead only works on brown bears, not polar bears. Now you tell me.
Now you tell me. That's so funny.
I could have had another 12 years. Oh, this is crazy.
So, funny.
I was reading the other day though. There's actually. When you think about history and you think about the worst people in history, who you usually think of? Like
Hitler.
Right. Comes right to mind. Genghis Khan. Just Mussolini, all these guys. Yeah. I think I want to do a segment on the show where we just do like, assholes throughout history. Because I feel like there's some minor ones that don't get enough credit. And one of them I came across was this pharaoh, and I forget his name, much like history has. But he actually, this is how he dealt with insects in his court, because they had a huge fly problem, like the big size, apocalyptic biblical flies. He found, of course, that flies were drawn to honey. So what he did is he had 2 servants with him at all times who he would douse with honey so that the flies would on them rather than bothering him. Now, here's my question.
That's a douche move, man.
Couldn't you just put like 2 pots of honey on either side of you? But what was brought back to me through the story, or what they corrected me on, the person telling me about this, was, but you would have to carry the pots of honey. This was a mobile insect repellent because he would have these people walk with him all around his kingdom.
This is the earliest version of the off spray. Like it was a prototype.
Just a big part of me goes like, I get that, Hitler, Mussolini, all these other guys. But when it comes down to a very personal level, I'm like,
that's a douche move.
That's a jerk.
Yeah.
He deserves more credit for that. Yeah.
Damn it, man. That's God. Dude, if you were a servant back in those days, life was just hell. When this guy dies, I die too. Jesus Christ. There's no retirement. there's no 401k.
They got buried with their favorite servant, probably, and the guy's alive. Like, throw him in. I like that one. Throw him in.
Jesus, God. This is what I get. I work so hard. Now I'm going to die. Jesus.
I don't know. Have you guys figured out what you're going to do when you die? Like, are you going into the ground, or are you doing the cremation thing? Have you one way or another?
I'm going to die like I live. Tell me which one's the cheapest. That's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing. How much does it cost to cremate me? All right. How much is it to just leave me out and let the birds eat me? We're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing.
How about you, Zach? What are you feeling?
If it's anytime soon, I want people to take my ashes and then graffiti BLM on stuff because that will make me happy. Because apparently this country, the right has been brainwashed into thinking that the left are terrorists, which is insane, and they don't realize that it's like half the country is just people they're shopping in stores with. So,
it's got a double impact because number one, you're doing the Black Lives Matter, but number two, you're proving that white people are ashy as well.
Thank you.
Wow. This is the show. This is the one that gets us off air. This is the one. They're like, nope, the line crossed it.
I feel like I'm here for a lot of those, and I apologize, but not really.
No worries.
I gotta tell you, I used to want the straight up into the casket into the ground so people could come and mourn me.
It's such a process.
And to tell you the truth, the more murder shows and autopsy stuff I watch, the more I'm like, burn me, just
burn me,
just
cremate me.
Yeah, put me into the ashes. I'm done. It kind of creeps me out a bit to think about underground deterioration.
I have Mrs. Yan to the right of me, so I'm going to ask her real quick, babe. If I pass away before you go, do you care if I get cremated? No, she don't care. She doesn't care that I'm alive right now. So it doesn't matter either way. She's like, leave me alone. I'm watching the Kardashians. But anyway, yeah.
You're a bigger guy though, James. I mean, your remains. Michelle's gonna be like, Miss, let's help you with that bag of cement. These are my husband's.
That's not an urn. That's a cooler. What are you doing?
Yeah. You know what? I take it back. You know what I want to be buried with? I'm going to go back to the plague times. I want to be buried with a bell. I want to have a string going through the lid of my coffin so I can ring the little. You ever see that in the cemetery?
Just the little bell.
I guess they had a problem at some point where they were burying people alive, and they would dig someone up later and see the scratches and nails embedded in the coffin because they thought they were dead. Threw them in a box, threw them on the ground. So what they started doing was putting a little hole in the coffin with a string to a bell that was there by the headstone, so you could ring it if you accidentally got buried alive and people could figure it out. And I'm just thinking, really? It was worth doing all this rather than taking the extra 2 minutes to make sure you were really dead. They're like, we'll just throw a bell in there.
Mike, who has the time?
And that's
I'm busy.
That's where the term "Saved by the Bell" comes from.
There it is.
There you go. Who knew it was going to turn out to be a crappy TV show? Who knew?
I knew.
Yeah, it would have been a better show about people in the ground.
Is that really where Saved by the Bell came from?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a boxing term, like when the round was like the guy
that
was
could be
about
it too.
to
I just made it up, so I mean.
Oh, it did sound good. It sounded great.
Well,
I believed you.
If there's one thing we like on this show, it's bro science. We just throw it out there. It sounds right. You prove us wrong. All right, that's your job.
Yeah, your job. Okay.
I'm working on my Fox News presentation to go get a job there, so I'm just making stuff up. I'm on fire tonight, boys. I'm on fire tonight.
Did you watch Okay, I know we don't have time, but I watched the Fox thing, and wow. Okay.
Well, guys, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about curb fines. That's right, stuff that you found on the side of the road that you actually took back to your house with you. Stay tuned right here, 104.1 Real Laughs. Hey, folks, welcome back. You're still listening to Real Laughs. I'm Mike Hurley in studio with Zach Bennett and James John. Now, guys, this actually hit me this week. I was driving home, and I saw a sign on the side of the road outside someone's house, and it said free. And I looked over, and it was two kids' bikes just sitting on the side of the curb. And all of a sudden, I started thinking, both my kids have bikes, brand new bikes, got them for the birthdays this past year. But there's something about seeing bikes and a sign free that made the hoarder junk collector in me go, I should grab those because I can probably throw them up on eBay and make a couple of bucks overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to lie, guys. I remember being a kid and driving by on trash day, and a couple of times my mom seeing a piece of furniture or a lamp in someone else's trash that we would pull over, stop so she could grab it. All right. So I just wanted to ask you guys, Have you ever had something that's a curb find, something you saw on the side of the road? One man's junk became your treasure, for lack of better.
Absolutely, man. Especially
Really?
furniture. Furniture is the thing that people would look out for if they saw it on the side of the road. Because sometimes people just get rid of furniture because they're done. They don't want to sell it. They don't want to go through the energy of it. They just got something new in. They're excited. Here's the old furniture. I actually rescued furniture from my sister when she was going to throw it out when she got new furniture when I lived in my very first apartment. That old furniture was new to me. So, yeah. And it was the nicest piece of furniture I had in my apartment at that time. So, yeah, man, I like the treasure trove of the garbage day. I'm down.
See, it's just weird to me because furniture is a very specific thing. Like, I remember they had a news article once, what your furniture says about you or the color your furniture says about you. And I was like, well, the color my furniture says, I'll take anything off the neighbor's curb,
Yeah.
because, yeah, but you also got to admit that when you see a couch on the side of the road, it comes into play. Like, there's definitely the first thing you got to do when you look at that couch is not just for rips and tears. You got to actually go, is there an odor? Because this is Florida. If that couch has been out there for more than 2 hours, it's already hit a rainstorm. There's a definite, no, man, I don't need that going through my whole house thing going on.
Also, are there any unfamiliar stains? You got to always watch out for what is that? Because I'm not going to sniff it. I'm not doing it.
How about you, Zach? You ever? I like how James used the word rescue. You ever rescue?
Rescue. It's a rescue. I didn't rescue him. He rescued me.
You ever rescuing furniture off a yard?
You know, I gotta say the most impressive one I've seen is my girlfriend. She
You rescued her from a yard?
No, she definitely rescued. She rescued me from you monsters. She was like, "You don't have to be on stage all the time."
No, you don't.
No, she has this way of this is so weird, man. She's found like 3 video games just on the. These are different times, dude. Not all at once. 3 different times she found video games outside, just like laying in the dirt, like outside of our place. So she found like Minecraft for Switch, and so we just sold it online, made money. Like, we've sold all these games, so it's
nice.
I think she's conjuring them up though. She's just like manifesting the games, you know.
Gotcha.
She's like, I want a video game, and then it shows up in the dirt. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I always get a little bit nervous when I see stuff by the side of the road that doesn't look like it should be getting thrown out. Because I always kind of go, it's in the area, but am I allowed to take it? Because I kind of want to take it. But then what's wrong with it that they're throwing it out? Like, when you see a flat screen TV out there, you're like, I'm no electrician, but you wouldn't just throw out a perfectly good flat screen. But some people do. Some people just go, like James was saying, like, I don't know how else to get rid of this. I don't want to put it on Craigslist or eBay. I don't even want to deal with that. I just got a 70-inch. This is only a 40-inch. Bam, out on the curb, you know? And I always feel like whenever I'm about to go out and grab something, all of a sudden the guy's going to come walking out and go, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, you were throwing this out. Well, I was, but now that you're interested in it, let's talk.
Let's negotiate.
Let's talk. Well, it was just free. Okay, well, let's work with that. It was free. What are you going to offer me? I was already cautious when it was free. You know, I circled the block 3 times before I actually said, why not?
There's a great episode of Trailer Park Boys where their whole plan to steal stuff is 2 of them go into like an office building and like drag the stuff out and put it by the curb, and then the other 2 come up and go, "Oh, trash!" And then
well, it's the same thing. Trailer Park Boys, hands down, one of my favorite shows to watch. And I love when Bubbles, it's just like, oh, if you find the carts in the ditch, they don't belong to the store anymore. So you go over there and push the cars down into the ditch.
You know, I fix them up and sell them back a little cheap, you know.
Oh, good times, man.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I've put some stuff out on the curb before, like a washer and dryer. And this is where it gets weird. I don't want anyone but the garbage man taking my stuff. Like, I'll sit out.
Oh, you one of those?
Yeah, because there's some guys that come around my neighborhoods, like on trash day, and they got a trailer. And what they'll do is try to get there before the trash people get there and pick through the good stuff because they take it down. And if it's metal, they get the recycling. You know,
scrap. Yeah.
take it down. But I don't know why I get so protective of the stuff I'm getting rid of. I'm like, no. That's not going in some stranger's home. I kind of feel the same way about girlfriends. It's like when we're through, we're through. But that's the end of your life as well. Like you should be able to go on and exist anywhere else. You need
is guy rule still in play? Like when we were in high school, where if you break up with a girl, she was completely off limits to all of your friends. Is that still a thing?
My best friend dated 3 of the girls I broke up with.
Oh, he was a horrible friend.
No, he actually said in the best way, he's like, I know how picky you are about the girls you date, so I can't help it that the girls you choose are awesome. And I'm like, well, I do appreciate that. But here's the difference. There were girls you dated, and then there were girls you were in love with. You know?
Yes.
And he never once went for any of the girls I was actually, in love with. Like, I don't know about you guys, but did you have the same groups of friends like in high school that like you had friends that dated a girl you used to date, or did you have any of that?
Well, no, man, I was dating the same girl forever, so I never had to experience that. Yeah, I'd have to experience the craziness of whoa, that's my ex. Oh, my bad, I slipped and fell in. But no, I never dealt with that.
James, your life is great.
It's perfect. What are you talking about? I'm black in America. I'm killing it, Zach.
I'll tell you, before we had, in high school, we didn't have social media to keep us preoccupied with anything else. So you actually had to find some sort of entertainment in your daily life. And some of the fun I had was watching a guy date a girl I dated after I'd warned him not to. And then like 2 months later, listening to him while we play pool, tell me all the crazy stuff. I'm like, yeah,
I tried to.
If only someone had warned you that such things were possible,
Yeah, you're like, I've seen that movie, and I told you what it's about, and then
I gave you the review. Yeah.
Well, just speaking of stuff that has changed a little bit. You know what I did the other day? I took a book into the bathroom with me.
Oh, not your phone?
No,
not your phone.
Not gonna lie. Took me a minute or two. A little bit of withdrawal. Like I was in there reading my book and went to look for my phone and was like, where'd I put? Oh, I intentionally didn't bring it in here. My bathroom at my parents' house when I was a kid, I shared a room with my older brother my entire life. The bathroom was one of the few places of privacy. I had
solitude.
2 brothers, my mom, my dad. Underneath the vanity was a literal library. Okay. It started out with Archie comic books, double digest. And then as you got older, my older brother got into rap. So it was all Source magazine and everything.
I used to love the Source magazine.
I didn't read it for the articles, but it was, big booty.
Just looking for Lil' Kim, dude.
So, and I remember them. I think somehow I trained my brain to where I can't take a poop without having reading material. Like I would go over to people's houses and these Neanderthals would not have reading material in their bathroom. So I'd be reading like the back of like toothpaste.
Yep. Absolutely.
Same thing.
I've trained myself. Well, I was always in a comic book, so every time I go to the bathroom, I would have a comic book, or I would have a magazine I was into, like The Source, or the Wizard magazine that was about comics. Before I got a cell phone, before there was even cell phones, I think young guys were always just trained to bring reading material in with them. Like it wasn't something odd to see in the 90s. You go to someone's bathroom, they would have that little rack with magazines in there for you to read and stuff like that, man. You want to be a good host while you're dropping one, learn something.
What about you, Zach? What was your preferred reading back in the day?
Man, it's funny when you think about it too, because like that's how it was back in the day. It was always like a stack of magazines, but you could always tell like who was a clean person or not just by like the obvious stuff, but if they had it right by the toilet and not across from it, because they're like, I'm not gonna pick up your magazines. You've been pissing all over them. What are you? Disgusting. So,
it was fine too because any of the magazines under the vanity, you just didn't talk about. you didn't talk about, like in my house. We had 3 boys sharing the same bathroom, and these magazines would pop up, or there'd be like one of my mom's romance novels under there, but my mom didn't use that bathroom. And you would open it up, and it would always be crimped around that really detailed erotic scene or something like that. And I knew times were a changing. I'd moved out and used to be able to go under there and find a Source magazine, or if you really dug down, there'd be a Hustler, the one Hustler that we had, you know, where you could every picture. But I knew times were changing when I'd gone away to college and came back, and my little brother was the only one left there. I went under the vanity, and there were no magazines. There was a mini DVD player and headphones. And he had actual porn on DVD. I'm like, these kids never know the struggle. I used to have to steal my mom's Woman's World and hope there was a bra ad, you know?
He had an actual DVD porn movie in there.
Yes.
Wow.
Which at the time, you know, you say it now, and everybody has unlimited access all the time now. But back then, I was like, this kid's creative.
Yep. You got to give it up to him. He understands. Why can't I get it open, though? It's sticky. Anyway.
Well, guys, we got a couple of minutes left here. Before we get out of here, what you got going on this weekend, James?
I'm actually home for a little bit, man. I'm getting ready to return on October 5th back to Afrotainment, working on our television show, me and Mike, The Lowdown with James. So that's what I'll be doing. Basically, just looking up funny videos and trying to figure out how not to get fired.
When are we going back?
October 5th.
Are we?
Yeah.
I didn't get that memo.
Yeah, like a month ago they told us October 5th.
Y'all gotta start getting Mike the memos, man.
We will. Well,
I know he's white, but like he works.
They're black memos, so he's like, delete.
That is true. What about you, Zach? What you got going on this weekend, man?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be doing the prints and everything, getting all that going, and probably I'm wanting to come back and stand up probably around the end of October, maybe November. We'll see. You know, it's just kind of feeling out what's going on. You know. Yeah. Well, they reopened everything, so I'm sure we'll be back to spiking in no time. So we'll see what happens.
Cool.
Go Florida.
Well, I will be celebrating my birthday because Sunday I will turn 44 years old. Double digits. What?
Happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, 44 years old. And then apparently I won't be partying as hard as I thought because I have work Monday morning, October 5th, apparently. So that was a nice way to find that out. And I like how we go back to work the day after my birthday. Last year, I got hired right around my birthday and missed my birthday celebration at work because nobody knew it was my birthday. It was my first week there. And now they plan going back to work right after my birthday. I feel like the girl whose boyfriend broke up with her right before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then
I was very upset the first time I saw Mike working there. I was very upset.
Oh, dude,
you got to see it.
Your studio, it's beautiful.
Holy crap, bro! They redid everything, Zach.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, it's fire.
And then October 9th and 10th, I will be at Margaritaville Casino out there in Kissimmee. So if you need tickets for that, feel free to hit me up. I'll get you on the guest list. Well, guys, that's all our time we got for tonight. We will be speaking with you next week on behalf of Zach Bennett, James John, and myself. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.